Despite only providing the news, Fox News anchors continue to be well-liked television personalities. People become interested in their life off camera as a result. Two prominent anchors of the network are divorcing in 2025. They're not alone, either. Numerous Fox News stars have broken up with their partners over the years for a variety of reasons, from infidelity scandals to intractable disagreements. You will be astounded to see the second person on this list. Jeff Kepnes and Liz Klayman. The marriage of Fox Business presenter Liz Klayman and MSNBC managing editor Jeff Kepnes stood out in the cutthroat world of national news, where competing networks vie for every moment of attention and every personality has a public presence. Despite having different professions, these two media workers were devoted to each other. They started dating during a more sedate period of their careers, and by the late 1990s, they were married. Meeting at Boston's WHDH-TV, Klayman and Kepnes forged a bond based on personal chemistry, newsworld happenstance, and a common professional goal. They began a 24-year relationship that would result in 2 children when they were married in 1999 at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Klayman advanced through the business journalist ranks throughout the years. She joined Fox Business Network in 2007 after working as an anchor at CNBC. Her red hair, incisive questioning, and interviews with some of America's most influential businesspeople made her the face of the Klayman countdown. She became known as the CEO Whisperer. Behind the scenes of network news, Jeff Kepnes forged his own career, first working at CNN before rejoining MSNBC as Morning Joe's managing editor. Because they were both professionals in the same field, their marriage was frequently referred to as a media power couple. They were able to maintain both their careers and their families. Insiders disclosed that although they appeared stable from the outside, their distance from one another increased with time. The couple secretly divorced in 2023, but no one found out until 2025. Although there was some conjecture when Klayman stopped wearing her wedding band on live, nobody anticipated that they were divorcing. Friends claim that their split was amicable, and neither she nor Kepnes released a joint statement. What could have led to the breakup? Although neither party has discussed the private locations in public, rumors and insiders suggest other explanations. The fact that the couple worked for direct competing networks, one at MSNBC and the other at Fox Business, could have caused professional problems, which is one of the speculated explanations. Some have observed that even the strongest relationships can be strained by the sheer demands of two high-profile, high-stress occupations, particularly in divisive news settings. According to some accounts, the couple had just drifted apart over time. News agencies reported in 2025 that their 24-hour marriage was over and that a divorce was on the horizon. However, there are other Fox News couples divorcing. As another well-known anchor disclosed that she had only been married for 2 years. Banderas, Julie. On February 9, 2023, Julie Banderas made the shocking and unrepentant announcement, "I am getting a divorce," live on television. Bandera appeared to be living a secure and contented life with Andrew Sansone for over 10 years. However, by the beginning of 2023, that meticulously preserved image fell apart in every way possible. The romance between Banderas and Sansone began in the latter part of the 2000s. Following their encounter at an event connected to a charity Sansone was working with, they fell in love and were engaged by 2008. In 2009, the couple finally tied the knot. They had 3 kids together over the years, and Banderas managed to balance her rigorous broadcasting profession with motherhood. Many believe that their marriage worked well because it combined the demands of the media industry with family life. However, problems between the couple were growing behind the scenes. The clearest indication that they were already divorcing was when Banderas declared in public in December 2022 that Sansone was her soon-to-be ex. When she later disclosed that their marriage was failing, it wasn't all that shocking. During a Valentine's Day feature on Goodfeld, it's unclear if there were numerous reasons for the breakup. Bandera quickly announced that she was divorcing him after dismissing the event as a dumb Hallmark holiday. She made this kind of announcement on a live broadcast, which stunned a lot of people. "That was breaking news, huh?" she added. However, the announcement of the divorce wasn't the last thing to make headlines. There were rumors that a troubling incident occurred in December 2022, shortly before the breakup announcement. After putting a knife to Banderas's throat during a domestic argument, Sansone was taken into custody and charged with misdemeanor threats and weapon possession. It is generally believed that the purported incident hastened the dissolution of their marriage, and Banderas subsequently obtained a restraining order. One of the most well-liked Fox News anchors ended her career when her divorce was made public in early 2023. Additionally, it signified that Banderas was beginning a new phase in both his personal and public life. She later disclosed that she had to leave the marriage solely for her physical and mental health, and that the divorce process was painful but eventually freeing. A few years later, a well-known Fox News anchor got divorced and startled everyone when he began dating someone else on the network. Hannity Sean. A modern-day odyssey, the tale of Sean Hannity's marriage, divorce, and new relationship is replete with professional triumphs, quiet tensions, and now an unexpected new chapter. In 1991, while working at a radio station in Alabama, Hannity got to know Jill Rodas, who was writing a political column for a local newspaper. Despite the cautions of others in RHS's social circle who thought Hannity's background in New York talk radio wasn't a good fit for small-town Alabama, their relationship took off. The wedding took place on January 9, 1993. Their marriage appeared stable for many years. A daughter was born in 2001, while a son was born in 1998. Even though Hannity had grown increasingly well-known, they made an effort to keep their family life private. The pressures of Hannity's successful career in primetime television, radio shows, and extensive travel seemed to have worn her down over time. According to insiders, there was less time for the marriage to develop and change as a result of the long hours and continual work. After more than 20 years of dating, Hannity and Rhodes announced their calm, scandal-free divorce in a joint statement in June 2020. They claimed to have made a peaceful agreement years prior, to be dedicated to co-parenting, and to have requested privacy for the benefit of their kids. Many characterized their divorce as respectful and civil, even if their marriage ended. Even after splitting up, the couple allegedly still went to their kids' events and had dinners together. However, Hannity's tale was far from over. He was subtly connected to fellow Fox News anchor Ainsley Hehart in the years after the divorce. Their long-standing respect and common beliefs served as the foundation for their relationship, which progressively became love. In 2020 or thereabouts, they began dating. The couple made a significant commitment to one another in December 2024. During the Christmas break, Hannity proposed to Hehart at a Florida church, and the engagement was made public. Hannity had a complete circle romantic experience. From a young love affair in Alabama to a protracted intense marriage, he is currently starting over with a lady who, strangely, works for Fox News. He didn't leave roadways in a dramatic or scandalous manner. The couple ultimately made the decision to file for divorce, and there were no harsh accusations or public altercations. It's interesting to note that Ainsley Hehart, his current fiancée, is one of the well-known Fox News anchors who has divorced twice. Hehart, Anley. Kevin McKinney was Anley Hart's first spouse. Shortly after graduating from college, they were married in April 2005 in Columbia, South Carolina, her birthplace. She was starting her career in local TV news at the time, and a few years later she took a position with Fox News. Her first marriage didn't last long, but it was a significant step for both her career and geography. Hart and McKenna divorced after 4 years, and their separation was completed in 2009. Although neither of them has publicly disclosed the cause of their divorce, Hehart's professional adjustments have drawn the attention of numerous media analysts and insiders. She relocated to New York and began working for a large TV network. They may have become tense as a result of this. Hehart continued to believe in romance and marriage despite this, and she fell in love once more. She wed Will Proctor, a former quarterback for Clemson University who now works in finance, in October 2012. After a promising union, they welcomed a daughter in 2015. Hehart's career was taking off at the same time, as she rose up the ranks at Fox and co-hosted Fox and Friends. However, the couple's relationship started to deteriorate over time. According to insiders, Proctor cheated on her, possibly with one of her close friends, which ultimately led to the dissolution of the marriage. There was not a shred of truth between them, according to Proctor, who disputed all of these. Nevertheless, the separation appeared unavoidable. Hehart issued a statement in 2018 stating, after much prayer and careful consideration, Will and I have separated. The divorce was formalized in 2019. Hehart was quite open about his difficulties in interviews following the divorce. She talked about her struggles with miscarriages, juggling parenting with a well-known career, and learning that being married wasn't enough to keep them in the same house. She also concluded that it was best to end the marriage for the sake of her daughter's welfare and her own peace of mind. In this manner, she could develop into a committed parent and a successful professional. Her life underwent a significant yet traumatic transition with the divorce. Hehart stressed in public remarks following the breakup that they would continue to be polite, dedicated to co-parenting their daughter, and respectful of their joint obligations. She also discussed how navigating loss, progress, and hope was made easier for her by her Christian religion. Hehart is currently preoccupied with parenting her kid, but she is also romantically involved with another well-known Fox News anchor, Sean Hannity. It appears that these Fox News hosts never reveal the cause of their splits. However, our next well-known figure was at fault since he cheated on his wife in a highly visible manner. Waters, Jesse. Jesse Waters appeared to have the steadiness you would anticipate from a long-term marriage for many years. He wed Noelle Inguagiato in 2009, and the two of them had twin girls a few years later. Their marriage seemed simple for a while, with a developing family, a thriving job, and public peace. However, something bizarre was going on behind the scenes. Their relationship's flaws weren't made public until 2017, when Waters was discovered to have had an affair. It was with a co-worker of his, not a complete stranger. This woman was Emma Devian, who worked as his show's associate producer. The dynamics shifted significantly after the affair was made public. In late 2017, shortly after he came clean about having an affair, Inguagiato filed for divorce. 10 years of marriage came to an end with their divorce in March 2019. The fact that he was having an affair at work added to the controversy surrounding the breakup. He only faced minor consequences after reporting himself to HR. Waters' life didn't stop. He and Digioan were married in December 2019, just a few months after the divorce was finalized. He received a lot of attention and criticism from the public for getting married so soon after divorcing in the same year. After becoming his wife, Digioan, who had previously worked for him, was transferred to a different show. Because Waters was open about cheating on his wife, this divorce was highly publicized. He even shared tales on television about how he offered Digioan a ride home by letting the air out of her tires. However, a lot of people on the internet have expressed worry and felt that the behavior was predatory. Waters carried on with his contented and tranquil existence in spite of this. A son was born to them in April 2021. They joined the family 2 years later, bringing the total number of children in Waters' home to 4. 2 from his first marriage and 2 from his current one were now in his possession. The children from both families appear to get along, and he and Emma frequently post photos of their home lives. Despite being at the center of the issue, Waters still has a lot of followers and appears to be content with his life. However, our next Fox News anchor is more akin to the network's well-known entertainment reality stars host. Patrick Keeley and Kat Day. When Kat and Patrick initially met in the early 2000s while co-hosting the BBC talent show Fame Academy, their communication was cordial but not amorous. They stayed friends over the years. Even though their careers took distinct turns throughout time, their relationship persisted. Music: while Patrick continues to advance as a comic and media figure, Kat established a worldwide reputation as a television host. Their relationship grew stronger and they fell in love sometime in 2011. When Patrick took a plane from Belfast to Los Angeles to surprise Kat at a birthday brunch, it was a game changer. They started dating after that unexpected and sincere gesture. In front of close friends and family, they were married in a private ceremony in Rome in September 2012. Their public life were hardly impacted by the modest celebration. Love, work, and expanding family were always balanced in their lives. In 2016 and 2018, the couple welcomed 2 kids into the world. They balanced cross-continental work for years. While Patrick carried on with his media career in the UK and Ireland, Kat spent much of her time in the US hosting programs like So You Think You Can Dance. Before going back to the UK in 2020, they lived in Los Angeles for over 10 years. purchasing a sizable house in North London together could be interpreted as a pledge to provide stability and roots for their kids. Under normal circumstances, however, the pair began to feel pressured. Patrick acknowledged that he believed the marriage had grown unbalanced in a 2023 podcast episode. He admitted, rather regretfully, that he felt more like a junior stakeholder than an equal partner during their partnership. He seldom had any influence over their significant life setbacks, such as moving from Los Angeles to London. The strains of their jobs, time apart, and parenting duties began to strain their marriage. Kat had to put in a lot of overtime for her job. They are one of the Fox News couples that divorced in 2025, despite Patrick's personal schedule keeping him gone most of the time. They announced their split in a joint statement, emphasizing that no third party was involved. They requested privacy from the public and had made the decision to co-parent their 2 sons. Relationships between Fox News anchors have fluctuated. Additionally, one of the most well-known figures on the television network, who is referred to as the most attractive anchor, has divorced. Kelly, Megyn. Another Fox News anchor who went through a divorce is Megyn Kelly, who eventually found a new husband. Her first marriage, which took place in 2001, was to Dr. Daniel Kendall. However, they divorced in 2006. She matured from that experience, moved on, and was prepared to find a compatible companion. Everything changed on a blind date in 2006. She met Douglas Brunt in this way. At the time, he worked as an executive in the business sector before redefining himself as a writer. After a brief courtship, they were married on March 1, 2008, at Oha Castle in New York, in what Kelly subsequently referred to as the best decision of my life. Their marriage appeared to be a fairy tale from the outside. Kelly said that Brunt was intelligent, caring, and grounded. The fact that Kelly and Brunt had 3 children, Edward, Yardley, and Thatcher Bray, made their marriage even more satisfying. IVF was used to conceive them all. Megyn avoided the intense scrutiny of the media and kept her family life secret. According to Brunt's interviews, their marriage was characterized by mutual respect and communication. He acknowledged that honesty and openness were what kept them in sync despite public criticism, saying that they learned to discuss and work through issues. On their 15th anniversary, Kelly herself honored their union, recalling the snowy winter day of their wedding at Oha Castle and calling the decision to wed him a blessing. The couple is still wed and will stay together for the rest of their lives. Brunt and Kelly have made public appearances together this year, such as at the Time 100 Gala, and they continue to live as a family with their 3 kids. In a 2023 podcast episode, Kelly discussed their years spent together and stated that her relationship with Brunt is still significant. She acknowledged that she was perplexed when they first started dating since he wasn't like her past music lovers. He was less arrogant, quieter, and more considerate. However, these distinctions ultimately contributed to his suitability for her. Fox News has had a variety of anchors throughout the years, and one of the well-known legends even got divorced in the 1990s. Eddie Hill was born Edith N. Tarbox. She had a successful journalism career and, beginning in 1998, became well known as a news anchor on Fox News Channel. However, her personal life was changing behind the scenes as a result of several marriages and relationships that represented both survival and optimism. In April 1989, while she was anchoring at Pittsburgh's WPXY-TV, she married Mark Phillip for the first time. 2 children were born out of that union. It was perhaps a time when stability and family were promised. However, that marriage ended in divorce by 1995. She married Jay for the second time, which was a significant turning point in her life and the start of a pattern. David Dennehy but was divorced once again. She had a child in her second marriage, but it ended discreetly at some point, and nobody even knew she had filed for divorce. Hill continued her career at the same period, progressing from local news positions to a prominent Fox News anchor. Then her life took a drastic swing. Hill married venture capitalist Joe Hill in 2002. They created a blended family together. It felt like a new beginning for her because they both had kids from past marriages. She and Hill managed children, professional obligations, and family life while remaining grounded because it provided greater stability. A well-known Fox News anchor has announced that she and her husband, who works for a rival TV network, are divorcing. The Fox News hosts who recently got divorced are the center of attention. What do you believe led to their split? Please share your opinions in the comments section. We appreciate you watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.